You are listening to another Third Coast Nerds podcast. The upside of being a robot? You're always doing the robot.
I like that.
It's another collaboration from the Kyle collection.
Not too bad.
It was a great day at work. It was a meeting day, so it was just a lot of all right, do this, quick little blurbs.
It was like from Ted. It was like the speed run. Just bam, 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 bam.
Nice.
Special guest. Introduce your guest.
Oh, this is Matt.
How's it going?
That's pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hi, Matt.
So now you're here.
Yep.
Matt's been around forever. He's
a vampire.
first
He
real
just doesn't
job,
age.
actually. FlexNet way back in the day. Like 90s, circa 90s is when we met.
I was actually, as far as our group of friends, I was employee one at FlexNet.
Yeah.
That ended up with my father owning said business as it failed.
Yeah.
So that's a long,
Were you there before Duke and
interesting
Jason?
Yeah.
You and Matt were over in the other group.
It was me, Matt, and Spacey,
That's right. Okay.
and good old Mike Price, wherever that cunt's hiding these days. I hope he's not doing very well.
He's probably one of the 12 listeners.
Yeah, he's got to be a follower.
Yeah, hey, Mike, give me a call.
Yeah, if I'm one download short this week, or next week, then I'll know. It's like, oh, Matt.
Alienated us again.
My bad. I'll start watching. I'll pick up his slack.
Right.
This is all we ask. This is all we ask.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Awkward silence, huh?
Neil and I used to play incessant amounts of MMOs during our working hours.
We brought our own computers up.
Yep.
I had three. I had one for EverQuest, one for work, and one for MP3s.
And demanded a KVM so that you can.
Yeah.
I need a KVM on my desk. I just need it.
And I got it.
Yeah. You were quite vocal.
I was.
You have the nice setup up there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. I didn't have the desk face. Neil got stuck with the wrong desk for a while there.
Yeah. For a minute.
When I went up there,
And
you
then I
always had the
made
good desk.
Jason or Duke move.
No, it was when we hired Chris, wasn't it? We made him sit in the desk with his monitors facing everybody that mattered.
Was it Chris or? Yeah, it was Chris.
It was absolutely Chris.
It was Chris.
Yeah.
The one
Chris,
I work with?
Chris Smith.
Yeah. I work with him.
His little brother.
Really?
Yeah.
I didn't
He's
know.
grown up quite a bit. So, yeah.
Good news.
So
I think we've all grown up quite a bit.
Only
when this gets played in your office,
Yeah.
then
Chris, shout out.
Yeah. Good job, Chris.
You deserve that desk, Chris.
Yeah, we used to fight over not having to have anyone see what we were doing.
It's all about seniority and fucking off. That's just the way life goes.
Pretty much, yeah.
And now there's no time to do it at all.
Yeah. Well, we had a Quake 3 server, a Quake 2 server running.
It
We
was
had
both.
an Unreal Tournament server running for a while.
It was Quake 3 Arena, Quake 2, because I was still obsessed with all the skinning and the modding.
Yeah, that's right.
And then we did Unreal when it came out, and I think we finally transitioned it. But it was, what did I name that fucking thing? It was the monstrosity in like the double-sized case. You know what I'm talking about? The beige one?
Oh, yes. I remember it very well.
What did I call it? I had some ridiculous name for it. I've always all my PCs in my house are named after evil AI.
Yeah.
Except for the girlfriend, she picked Edie from Mass Effect, so she's the only one that has a nice one. I've Whopper Hal. Oh, I'm sorry, the server's Marvin, so I did do one nice one.
Marvin. Okay.
Yeah.
Marvin's nice. I like
Marvin's
Marvin.
awesome.
And then we took over one of those big blue compacts at one point and started playing with it. I remember it was like 30 U's tall.
Oh,
I forget what those were.
those were. Hang on. What was the company that Compaq bought that I was really upset that they bought? It was Risk Based.
This has been way too long.
Was that?
I remember it was big and blue and had a compact logo, and like they had bought two of them and started using one, and then one sat there for like a year, and then we started eyeing it.
It was. They bought Deck Alpha.
Oh, that's right, Deck Alpha.
Yeah, it was the compact version of the deck. That's what it was. Okay.
So yeah, we loaded that up, and that's what some of our gaming stuff was on after a while.
They got mad. They caught us on that one.
Yeah,
didn't
that's
they?
the one they got mad about.
What they use? They were using that for DNS or something. And
Yeah, something dumb.
it was like it was we had such a hodgepodge there. So like we had conventional Windows servers. We had the DEC compacts. We had an RS-6000 running Solaris.
Yeah.
And that one I remember was definitely DNS. And then we had actually my predecessor at my current job still laughs at us for using Ipswich iMail.
Yeah.
On Windows servers. So like the one unstable platform that we had, we put our mail on that one.
Yeah.
It also had web hosting too, if I remember right.
It did. Yeah.
Only authentication was on a Red Hat or something.
Yeah.
Something stable.
I just remember LAN parties on
horrible.
weekends.
But that, and we had 3 T1s. So
We got in trouble for that too.
Y'all never stopped.
No.
Like, what are you doing this weekend? Going to FlexNet? Oh, did you get a job? No, there's a LAN party.
No. It was one of the other tenants in the Triad building. That's what it was.
yeah,
Like,
someone else got mad that we were up there on a Saturday, like being stupid. Was that the time we took the fluorescent bulbs and had like a lightsaber fight, and the sheriff showed up?
No, that was during the day.
That was during the
I remember
day.
the sun was out when we did that.
Yeah.
I really wish some of the stuff that took place while we were there happened when I was older and more knowledgeable, because I would have told that dude to go eat a dick.
Yeah, he
This
was
is
like
private property. Why are you asking me why I'm smashing bulbs? Because we were just like, I don't know, are we not supposed to be doing this? And then like,
Is this not allowed? Like, we're making the woof woof noises. I mean,
remember Mickey's at the trailer that was sitting out?
Oh, yeah.
Just trying to see if we could break hand grenades.
well, their monitor too. We threw that tube monitor in the dumpster.
Yeah.
And then like they were doing some construction, so we had a bunch of those cinder blocks.
Yeah.
And like we were standing up on the edge of the dumpster with the TV or the monitor CRT facing out, and we were throwing like cinder blocks each at the same time down at this thing, and they were bouncing out of the dumpster and not cracking the glass.
Don't get upset. They were dump terminals, weren't they? They were the they were the they used to be a commingling of companies with a title company that had a lot of dumb terminals, so we had a lot laying around. And actually, that's a FlexNet tradition to try and break dumb terminals in dumpsters.
Oh, yeah?
We did that at the original building.
Oh, did you?
Strogan's Mill, yeah.
Okay.
Matt and I. it doesn't work. They are quite resilient.
Yeah, dude, we tried for a good like 30 to 45 minutes.
Oh, they don't break.
It was a lot of fun.
It pretty much has to be physically cracked for it to break, and you're not going to crack it.
Yeah, and nowadays we have to have all this Gorilla Glass and stuff. We should go back to whatever they were using to see.
We should totally have CRT phones. Why do we not have CRT cell phones?
Monochrome orange CRT
it would
phones.
be this thick. Or yeah.
Oh yeah, so good times. We've known each other quite some time.
It's a colorful history.
Yeah.
And we all ended up oil field in the end, so that's
Yeah. Well, I left oil field, but yeah.
Yeah, you're one of those dirty IT guys. What are those guys good for, anyways?
Exactly.
I forgot all my useful IT knowledge. But.
Most people try to. It just doesn't work.
Yeah. Now it comes down to I fixed that for you like months ago. It works.
I'm still a better hardware guy than you were.
Maybe.
Yeah.
I was faster. You were more efficient. Like you did tons more research. I let someone else do the research and just put it all together.
You remember paycheck planning?
Oh yeah.
That's good stuff. Little pads of paper where we'd figure out how we were going to spend our paychecks on computer hardware.
Yeah, like over the next 2 months, this is what we're going to buy.
I mean 100% of the paycheck. It was like, this is rent, this is bills, this is the rest, and it's all PC hardware. That was it.
The first time we did it, we were like, crap, we forgot about food and gas. So like we got all these parts coming, we're like, oh, what are we going to do?
Worth it.
You'll live, you'll learn.
Right? These little lessons in life.
Yeah, there was a several month span where Monkey and Mike were in a tweak war. Yeah, where it was just...
I thought you said twerk at first.
Twerk war? Yeah.
I was like, I'm picturing Monkey in a twerk war.
I think we would lose that one collectively.
No, it was a tweak war. So whatever the benchmark was for one of them, they'd send the screenshot, and then Monkey would be like, crap, I gotta go buy more stuff. And so this went back and forth like every 2 or 3 days.
Oh, wow.
And it went for a while. And then finally, I can't remember which one finally tapped out, but it's like, we got to stop this. This is ridiculous.
Yeah, we
were pretty bad. Like, that was the phase of, actually, I based my current model for PC upgrading on that era that we had, in that I do not incessantly upgrade PCs anymore. I run it into the ground, and then when I'm ready for a new one, I do a complete new build and just shift them down.
You know what I still have in my closet?
What?
My working 8-bit KT7 RAID board.
Wow. Wow.
Yeah. I loaded Linux on it, and instead of throwing things away, you just remove Windows and install Linux, and you've got like 8 more years. So I threw it up in a closet, and then I wanted to load a different version of Windows, and I brought it down. And those things with that hardware, you had every driver for everything. You tried to put like a 2-year-old off-the-shelf HP or something and put Linux on it. You had issue with chipset drivers or just having to hunt things down for multimedia drives, and it just got to be a pain.
Just in general, finding like the open source variant of sound card drivers, for example, was horrific at the time.
So I was like, my board's 15 years old. It has the drivers. I was good.
I still that's my geek street cred is that I learned Linux on Slackware, and people are like, dear God, why would you try and install that? And I'm like, that's what I learned on. And then we had these little hacking contests where Matt would get in, and when he managed to use whatever the newest 0-day was on my PC, he would rm-rf / and the motherfucker would stop working in the first few seconds. And it was reinstall time, and I would learn all over again.
Yeah.
So,
the way people used to learn how to compute.
I kind of miss it.
I
wish someone would like aggressively break into my computer quite frequently and try and delete the hard drive from the MBR first. Once a week.
Yeah.
He was a good cunt.
Oh, dude, I remember.
He completely went out of IT, right? He
did he?
Lost the taste.
Didn't he get that? It was that other dial-up service for the longest time.
That
HostGator or something. Wasn't he over there?
No. Spacey went all corporate. He was the one that kept going IT, and then Matt got out of it. I don't know what he ended up doing, but it was completely unrelated last time I talked to him. That's a real way. Spacey, I guarantee you, Spacey is a CTO somewhere right now.
Probably.
We just haven't found him again.
Yeah.
That was a smart guy.
These people are not wanting to find
20 years
us.
ago. During some of my darker days, I actually delivered a pizza to Spacey.
Oh yeah.
Back in Sterling Ridge. Yeah, that was weird. He was doing quite well.
I bet.
It was a nice house.
He's like, how things have changed.
I need Spacey to deliver me a pizza so I can feel better about my life.
Oh, yeah.
It would help if we didn't have nicknames for each other. I could remember his actual name.
Yeah. Everyone had nicknames back then. Now everyone...
I hope TGK is not doing well either, if you remember him.
let's get it all out of the way. Everyone,
we're stirring up really old circles of friends now, and I remember the ones that were nice and helpful and ones that weren't. We'll just leave it at that.
Yeah.
Kevin, if you're out there, hope you die in a tire fire. Michelle,
remember that time you banned me from IRC, you bastard?
I just want someone to hit you in the face with a bag of hammers. Yeah. That's all. That'll get my jollies out.
I hope you're a hobo now.
It's like if you had an hour and a half to give your Grammy acceptance speech and hate on everyone that was there.
I think just for sheer shock value, because most of the people that get up there and do their initial Grammy speech, it's all canned BS.
Yeah.
I would love for someone to do that and be like, remember when you did this to me 10 years ago? Yeah, look now, bitch. I'm not even knowing who that was. Any genre at all, I would buy that person's record immediately. Yeah. It would humanize the whole experience, I think.
Right. Someone just goes up like...
And just rips it.
Praise God, Jehovah Christ Almighty. Leroy, I hope you have Nike surgically implanted in your rectum. And it takes great effort to squeeze that out.
So who would you wish that they would find a new STD?
What's this?
That's got to be one.
Yeah.
I hope you find a new STD. Just
hope it gets
named
out there. After you.
It's out there. It's going to have your name.
Something that made the jump to humanity through you.
Proves you're not human.
Possibly through some exotic mountain goat in northern Alaska, so people have more questions.
Mountain goats. They carry all the good STDs.
Yeah, mountain goat.
I wouldn't know.
At high altitudes, get serious. Wherever they have to start abandoning bodies at Everest because they can't drag them down.
Right. Yeah.
There's that movie coming out about Everest where it's like, nah, that ain't fake. That's not real. Like, no one's going to talk at that altitude and be like, we're not leaving you behind. They're at the peak and like talking. They're having a conversation.
Can't be any different than war movies, I suppose.
True.
Oh yeah. Where you're under enemy fire, but have like 5 minutes to like.
Yeah. To
if we don't get out of this.
Yeah. Actually, that was kind of funny on the latest episode of The Strain. That exact thing pretty much happened. They're looking out this fence at all the like vampires waiting to come in on them, and then the next scene is her driving around parade style, like trying to get all the normal people to come and help fight. And we're like, dude, you saw them with binoculars. They were that close. When did you have time to go gas up 3 trucks and a trailer and put a PA system on it and go rally the troops around town and then come back before they charged you? Like, what was going on here?
Because that already happened. They did it for fun, and then they're like, oh, crap, there's someone. I'm glad all these people are here.
Right.
It's probably how it really happened.
That kind of stuff will make me stop watching the TV show. Like,
really?
it annoys the crap out of me so bad.
Yeah.
I remember there's a certain kind of fun. It's like getting to go out and play in a backyard in a fort and defend it from attackers, kind of kid fun, and watching like post-apocalyptic type TV shows and movies. Yeah. And I had some high hopes for shows like The Walking Dead, and then in the first episode, in the first 5 minutes, they make a mistake with a gun-related item, and I just lose it. Like I can't not focus on it, and
yeah. See, I have to tell.
I think that was a safe indicator, though, given what happened with the rest of the series that I didn't watch from what I saw from other people. But
yeah,
which one?
Oh, in the road when they're aiming at the criminal that's running away from him in the car, and I can't remember his name. The more evil of the cops talks to the sheriff, Dirty Harry with his big revolver, and tells him to just shut up, focus on his job, and make sure his safety's off. Well, it pans back to the guy, and he's holding a Glock, which would have been fine had they not had him visibly reach his thumb up and make a click sound when he took his non-existent safety off. At which point in time, I was like, I'm done with the show. You've upset me greatly.
That's one thing that I really liked about Stargate is they paid the military to come in and contracted them to make sure things were right. They went through the same, this is how you would ambush a room. This is how you would split. Just all that. Well,
like a lot of productions do that, but still, yet when the film gets into Foley, they always put the clicking sound.
Yeah.
I will tell you right now, I guarantee if that production had firearms, firing blanks or not, they had an armor, and someone told them that Glocks don't have safeties. I promise you, any Hollywood production has an armor. Yeah. They're either making, regardless of whether they're real firearms, they're making the simulated ones, like for Stargate when they have the futuristic stuff. They will take existing firearms and mold stuff over them. Yeah. Make them look, modify them, make them look futuristic, different, anything. They pay these guys for a reason. I promise you someone told them that, and they were just like, fuck it.
So if you were the armorer and they did that, would you have quit?
Yes. Because
on principle alone, I leave you.
To me, you're talking about something, especially that kind of show that appeals to like preppers and stuff like that are people that value attention to detail. It's something so easy to do that they actually spent more time doing the wrong thing than it would have been to do the right thing.
Yeah.
So did you watch the movie John Wick?
Yeah. That's Headshot the movie. Have you seen the movie John Wick?
Yeah.
Because that's Headshot the movie.
Yeah, it is.
I like that to me it seems. I don't know as much
got to be all-time most headshots in a movie, period. Like, that was the preferred method of death in that movie, was a headshot.
But I like that, like, his clip would empty.
Yes.
And he realized, like, I think they actually counted.
That show is actually spectacularly real and acceptable as far as like gun reality goes.
Yeah. I hate when they have a 6-shooter and they shoot it 15 times and then they're like, oh,
the most unrealistic thing about that movie was Keanu Reeves' acting.
Well, it's just Keanu being Keanu.
Perfect for him, though.
In that regard, like you want the as cheesy as it sounds, but that Hitman game style, like no emotion, no reaction, perfect kind of contract killer. And I love that, like, just the lead up, like the dog, the car, all that was perfect. It is a great movie, and actually they're supposed to be making a sequel.
Yes,
yeah.
I think
they've sold me.
They've already started filming.
I love the concept of the hotel too, like kind of leading you to the underground or the unknown in the role that the hotel played. I love that. It was great.
I think that should be an actual hotel,
but it's
that you can go stay in.
I'm not normal in the fact that I bridge the gap between like IT, oil field, and guns in my enthusiastic endeavors. So like it would be on par with you watching a movie where they like Swordfish for hackers. Like, and computer enthusiasts, that's what it is. Like, you see it on screen, you know it's just ridiculous, and it turns you off. It makes you not want to watch it because somebody like was trying to play it up or make it more entertaining than it needed to be, when actually reality would have played much better.
So that, I guess, leads me to Mr. Robot. Have you seen that
Mr.
one?
Robot is fucking spectacular.
Yes. See, now there's another. Go watch it. It's that
I
good.
don't know. I'm still thinking that John Travolta is going to pull his face off and Nicolas Cage is going to be there. That's the only thing running through my head right now after you mentioned Swordfish, just because Face Off was equally horrible.
Yeah.
I see. Like, I can get past the completely wrong. Like, it's not realistic.
It's entertainment,
at all, but I also
yeah.
watch a lot of fantasy. Like,
if I'm going into it knowing it's going to be ridiculous, that's fine. But if somebody's playing something that's easily, like you're talking about, I'm going to go back to Walking Dead. That's a show that could have been completely timeless. No cheesy special effects like we were talking about before. It has the right kind of like, they get the aesthetic of the post-apocalyptic right, except for the farm. We'll leave the farm out of it. When they're moving, and people, you saw that. Even like the casual viewers saw, as soon as they stopped moving and they stopped trying to scavenge and they stopped living like they were in that environment and got settled on a farm, people got fucking bored. And they stopped watching and they got real vocal.
Yeah.
So that's
when you let a kid run through the forest with zombies going around, right? I haven't seen it, but
Yeah,
I hear
this
a
is
lot
why
of
we
activity.
had. This is why we had like a season and a half of Coral. Like,
Yeah, that's one of those things that, a lot of shows have
It's like,
something they're based off that are like that.
Every show needs that, though. It's like Anna Lucia and Lost. I can't watch a movie with that bitch in it now. Like, every time I see her, it's like I watch a Fast and Furious. Anna Lucia, you die, you fucking. I can't take her anymore. I guess that speaks to her ability to make me hate her in Lost, but
Yeah, I mean, she did a good job.
and in that case, it was about the character, not the show. Like he's saying with the kid running around the woods, like nobody wants to watch stuff that's willfully retarded. Like no real family would let their kid go in that situation go running.
It's like a progressive commercial. You just don't want to sit through it.
Well, it's great watching the boards on that because they're like Darwin.
Yeah,
You get like 80 posts in a 200 post like thread. Darwin.
It's not
deserved it.
It's not hard to make that show logical, believable, and still entertaining. But it's like they get stuck in their own little microcosm and they don't know how to proceed is the only thing I can figure. And they're not hearing criticism as they're actively writing for it.
Yeah.
So they just go how they think they should go.
I think that's why a lot of people, myself included, are really big into the more fantasy sci-fi thing because you don't have to worry about it being a Glock because it's a taser or a phaser.
that's not how a dragon would breathe fire.
Exactly.
It could be done right though. You look at something like John Wick that's completely in a real environment is just completely unbelievable, but they do it well, and people that are enthusiastic about firearms, which I would say that movie is heavily based on firearms and their use, can still enjoy. And it's still off the wall. Like, it's Headshot the movie. There's no other, like, it is action incarnate.
Well, the majority of the people who make these things have never left L.A. They've never touched a weapon.
There are guns in L.A.
Now, hold on.
That's why they're doing Fear the Walking Dead now, so they can stay in California.
Yeah.
LA Gun Club. Come on. Eddie Murphy's been there.
He has.
But it's like even when they go on location, like whether it be North Carolina, Virginia, Canada, wherever like that,
they're bringing their people
they're on
with
a
them.
set, and they still stay in that mindset where it's there is a certain amount of fantasy that these directors will run with, where that's the misconception of how things should work.
Yeah.
But then you have to give the guy credit, like if you go back and watch something like Collateral with Tom Cruise and how he handled those weapons, that was pretty badass.
Yes.
Like he handled it
and if you
correctly.
go back and look up Collateral and how many consultants they brought on board to do just that one scene.
Yeah.
The Mogadishu is what you're talking about?
No, Collateral, where he's a hitman.
No. The move, like the actual action of what he was doing, I believe is called Mogadishu. Hang on.
Oh, is this? I don't understand dance moves. I don't know what the nene is either.
It's a cousin of Krav Maga.
Krav Maga.
Yeah. Hang on. Let's see. What was it called?
I'm just trying to think
I'll look that up.
Beverly Hills Cop.
There's an actual name
counting
for
the
like
gunshots.
that sequence of events that he went through. It was like what they nicknamed the scene, basically. It's a spectacular scene. The what is it? A 3-man takedown? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Yeah, in the nightclub.
No.
Not that one?
The one in the alley. That's my briefcase. Hang on.
Oh, okay.
I haven't seen this movie apparently.
You need to, if you have not.
It's actually a good movie.
If you watch that scene, you're going to watch the movie.
You will.
It's a spectacular flick. Yeah,
It's called Collateral.
Yeah.
Look up collateral briefcase scene. It's a 2v1.
It was what actually most of like the Conan and Dave Letterman show showed parts of when they had him on as guests.
That's it. I
yeah.
don't care what the movie is. They show me that in a scene. I'm like, I'm done. And you watching the cutscene or the behind the scenes for that, and the amount of work that he put in, he is absolutely crazy sauce. Like, don't mistake. But
we talk about this often.
The work ethic that man puts into even like a single scene like that is just. It's what we need from all movies.
Yeah, like the new Mission Impossible. Even though like the tech is out there, the action stuff, like the movie is a thriller. It's awesome to watch.
Well, and they lay a little bit of. I'd say the biggest pet peeve that you could have with Mission Impossible type movies is the computer aspect.
Yeah.
But what they're putting on that is, given current events, not so outlandish anymore as far as like what their capabilities are. The only thing that they would leave that they could leave out at this point, which they're getting better about, is the GUIs and stuff that they use.
Yeah.
They're actually getting back to a lot more text-based interface and things like that because they acknowledge that that's more realistic and they understand that they look ridiculous for using anything else.
Well, yeah, I mean, especially when they're not doing a sci-fi fantasy like outer space thing. Right. You can make your control board look like whatever you want when you're like orbiting Venus.
Yeah.
But when you're actually supposed to be on Earth and in real time kind of thing.
I mean, at least we moved past like the Pierce Brosnan 007 crap, you know.
My only thing is I've never met an IT guy that looks like Bing Rames. So I'm never going to buy that.
This is very true.
Like, bro, no IT guy has that much time.
Imagine someone talking to Bing Rames like, so you play D&D?
Dude, that's why I was kind of really surprised to find out that like Vin Diesel plays D&D in games like that. Like those are
games are different than IT tech knowledge.
True. Because they're more fun.
That's when people group them together. Like we go to game nights and people are like, "Oh, we start talking IT," and everyone's just like, "No, I don't understand this. I just play Munchkin."
Games are their own special segment of the market. Even with the international this last month, you had like they put them in there for relational purposes, but there was absolutely a pro NBA player on the commentary board for Dota's international.
Oh yeah, who?
Yeah. What the hell? I've never, because I watch the NBA.
I do. I watch a lot of it. I recorded a 1994 Western Conference semifinal game today.
You've seen it before.
Man, it's
well, that's the thing. Not all of them. Because if you think about the 90s and the way sports were, you usually had your local channel. So, UPN or whatever had the Rockets.
Here we go.
Yeah.
We had WGN, which the Bulls were on, but no other, like ESPN would maybe show one basketball game a week.
And we didn't have ESPN.
And with as many games that they're being played, like a lot of the ones that you didn't have the ability to see, they're actually playing them on
It's cool
TV.
to go back and watch like what happened with like the Knicks in the course of that season with Ewing and like seeing his play outside, because I only ever saw him in our finals game with him.
And that's the way most people were. That's why Jordan was the way he was. WGN was a national channel. It was a local Chicago channel that everyone in the United States got.
Yeah.
So every team, every person got to watch their local team and Michael Jordan every game.
Okay, so maybe it's an excuse, or maybe it's just what I kind of gravitated toward, but in Houston in particular, I feel like it is easy to be a disenfranchised sports fan.
Yes.
Because we had the Oilers, and we gave away Warren Moon. Mm-hmm. Okay. Then we had our Astros, and we gave away Nolan Ryan.
Yeah.
Okay. Then we had our Clutch City championship Rockets, and we gave away the whole starting lineup.
Yeah.
Within, what, 2 years?
2 years, pretty much,
Okay.
yeah. Well, I mean, we had Elijah one still, but...
And then we sold our whole fucking football team.
Yeah.
So forgive
And our
me if,
hockey team.
And our hockey team.
yeah, and our, yeah.
And this is, we're all relatively young guys, and this has all happened
Yeah,
since
and-
we've been alive.
Yeah.
Right. So
Like, in the last 35 years.
I've gotten to personally witness that entire transgression as far as the Houston sports franchise collective goes. And so I see these people get really enthusiastic about the Texans, which I'm all for. I think sports franchises are good for a city, but I feel like we've mistreated ours as far as like
They've mistreated us.
You really?
Yeah.
Depends on which franchise we're talking about. The commentator is Jeremy Lin of the Charlotte Hornets, by the way.
Oh, okay.
Who
Yeah.
was and I don't mean just like a sideline commentator. He was at the main desk
Oh,
because
yeah?
he plays Dota too.
A lot of them do. I mean,
Yeah.
a lot of them play a lot of games on
And
their
that's
off
what I
time.
mean. If I'm a millionaire and I play a sports for a living, what am I going to do
I
with my free
like,
time?
the way you say I play a sports.
Play a sports?
Like, do I say game?
Game? Sports?
I play a sports.
But
Sports balling on a weekday,
I think there's a lot
D&D on a
of
weekend.
it's in that regard it's easy to entry and it's pretty ubiquitous, and I think that people's misconception that just because someone's a pro athlete they don't ever do these
Well, I mean,
consumer
alone you
grade
see.
things.
I mean, they play the games they're in. They all play NBA 2K or
Oh, yeah,
Madden, whatever, or the
absolutely.
So I mean, then you have The Witcher right now is a huge game. You know, they all own it. They own all the Call of Duty. I mean, Best Buy just shows up and drops stuff off like every 3 days for them.
I'm guilty to say my usual assumption is that that's limited to consoles. So I was actually
I would say the same thing.
I was actually very impressed that not only someone was admitting to that or was knowledgeable on the subject, but was willing to dedicate his time to the
What was his last name?
Jeremy Lin.
Oh,
he's
so he's
a
an
point
Asian kid.
guard for Charlotte Hornets.
Yeah, he played for the Rockets 3 years ago, so I know who he is. But
Yeah.
I just wanted
This
to
is
point
how
out.
much I've did.
I was waiting. I was like, did you fall and hit your head at some point?
But yeah, he went to Harvard. He's pretty well educated.
Oh, wow. Okay.
He's probably one of the second players to come out of China after Yao Ming to make it successfully.
So I will say that he didn't do Valve for the broadcast did 2 separate broadcasts, one for newcomers and one for professional or experienced players. And Jeremy was not on the newcomers one.
Oh yeah,
Yeah,
nice.
he was actually commenting on the actual games. I think he was.
I'm gonna have to go watch that now.
He was there more for relating it to people that it was like legitimate.
Okay.
I think them basically saying
Like, hey, here's an athlete talking about
pro NBA like
games.
His little bar said pro NBA player. Actually, I could probably find a screenshot of that.
That's pretty cool. Yeah, I mean, there's a number of them now. Like, Dwight Howard, we were talking about. Like, he was at Comic-Con. Like, he goes all the time.
basketball player.
NBA basketball player. But yeah, dude, there's a lot of them now that come out and tell everyone what they like. I mean, Dwight Howard's always got a Flash or a Green Lantern shirt on. He goes to all the cons. Like,
I think that's a little cheesier though. If you see him at the cons, it's one thing. If you see him flashing like the paraphernalia, I think that's
like
more pop culture.
Well, he's got the whole ESPN Marvel thing happening. So
yeah, well, that already happened. It's actually pretty good.
Well, you always
30 on 30, the ESPN specials.
Yes, yeah.
They actually did an origin set of different people, Dwight Howard being one of them, how he came from the ghettos and all the way up. But they did it 30 and 30 style, but Marvel was involved, and Marvel did it completely animated. So it was kind of a cool merging of sports, and we talked about it the other night, how I was telling there's different players that are doing that, but they did like Michael Phelps, I think, Dwight Howard. There was a number of them that were done. So they're trying really hard to get people to pay attention to sports, and it's okay to be a geek or a nerd at the same time.
Did you know there's a fantasy league for esports now?
I did not know there's a fantasy league for esports.
I could do this.
yeah, my eyebrows goes up like my because I'm watching my fantasy score for tonight's game right now.
What's the prize pool for your league?
$20. That's it.
This one's
small.
This one's 10 million.
Well,
Is it FanDuel?
good for them. I got that scratch.
Vulcan?
Oh, it'd be hilarious if it was FanDuel, because like any game, you have like DraftKings and FanDuel seats everywhere.
Yeah.
No, this one was actually started by an esports team. So I thought that was interesting. I was like, oh wow, they're advertising pretty heavily. We'll see how that goes.
See, we should have kept going on with our Counter-Strike clan because we were finally getting in there. doing tournaments a little bit, or at least with 1 or 2 other clans.
If you could have transitioned from 1.6 to Go, then you would have been golden, man.
Oh yeah, I can. I play Go.
What's your problem? I could tell you the ways that could be making you an income to where you could sit at the house all day long.
We should talk.
We should. I have a few examples I could show you.
Yeah, see, I need those old people remotes now. So.
I'm talking guys that make double what you do, but have horrible personalities. just because they're good at CS:GO. I'm dead serious. It's the
last time
it's enlightening.
The last time me and Dan logged in together, we jumped on an assault map because that was my favorite. And we weren't in there for more than 3 minutes before we were both banned because of cheating.
You know why I can't play that game? Neil and I used to love first-person shooters. I'm actually terrible at them because I'm completely out of practice nowadays. But I cannot play CS at all because there's no hand bomb. It weirds me out. Like even watching somebody, just the flat movement, I'm like, this is so artificial looking.
Yeah. And that was... You'd always hear shing, everyone pull the knives out. Yeah.
I remember when we were all player 01 because we used alt codes. So if someone would die by player 01, or someone would kill player 01, then they turn around and die by player 01. They're like, no, that's not possible.
Yeah,
and they'd be freaking out typing, and then someone would pop back in and shoot them. Shoot the next person that was trying to type. It's like, great.
Yeah, we got banned from a number of servers for that.
Yeah.
Well, because certain people in our group had certain camp spots. So people would know if player 03 was in, they're going to sit on top and shoot down. If they knew 1 was in, they were going to go around back. Because we just named ourselves 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 or whatever. So we were sitting there messing around. I'm like, hey, let's all be the same name. Because they would know, okay, well, 3 is going to be here, 4 is going to be here. We ran a lot of the same maps. You get in the habit of doing the same things over and over. And
these 3 people cover this side, these 3 people cover this side.
So yeah, we did that, and it was like all hell broke loose. Like people throwing things and yelling at us, and it was a lot of fun.
Yeah, like the audio. I wish we would have recorded it because it was amazing.
I feel like as a group, under the right circumstances, team-based CS:GO could be very entertaining with you guys playing it all at once.
We were pretty good at it, but
I'm not even saying you got to be good at it.
No, just
the entertainment value.
Yeah,
I'll reprise my role where I just take your mic and yell at people in the lobby.
Oh, that was fun. That was on Call of Duty, wasn't it?
Yeah. No, it was it? I guess it was.
It was one of the Call of Duties.
It was on. We were on the. Yeah. It was when I first got my PS4. It was on the Xbox. PS4, I think.
Yeah, I did this ridiculous voice, and I told this one kid who was just being a jackass the entire game that I wished I could shove him in my ass and give birth to him so he could be my baby.
Yeah, basically, this is what you have. You have Kyle with the controller playing, and then he had the cable plugged in for the headset. So Chad had to sit within 2 feet of what Kyle was doing.
Yeah,
and Kyle plays like this.
Yeah. My hands move it's like when I want to go faster in a racing game. I lean forward. I get into it.
Oh. I remember, what was a PlayStation 3 Gran Turismo or something. It was me, you, and Miles had it at the apartment, and when it came out, number 4 or something like that. And I remember playing it for the entire weekend, and then the next day we were sitting on the couch, and all of us are just still swaying back and forth, and it was bad because only one person's playing at a time, but everyone on the couch is leaning left, hugging, and then
you got to be in the right mindset to play a simulation racer
for 40 straight hours, handing off.
It takes your head over.
Well, late night raids on Destiny, man. We would finish at 1 in the morning, and I would go immediately try to walk to bed, and I would stand up and walk down the wall next to the trip to my bedroom, and it's doing this. I'm like, oh, wait a second, because I can't play far away. I got to be in the TV to play these games, or else I can't pay attention. And having that much motion that up close for 4 hours.
I learned a long time ago. You got to make sure you put yourself distance. That's why I have mine up in the corner of the living room, so I can play whatever. And I'm like, okay, this is good. I can get up without falling over. Because on a weekend, if I'm playing for 10 or 15 hours, which hasn't been known to happen, not recently, but it's been known to happen before. And then you get up, your legs are asleep because you haven't used them in 14 hours. You really
the Matrix when he wakes up and he's like, "Why do my eyes hurt?" You
really need to make it to the bathroom because it's been 15 hours,
after
and then you just fall over because you're 3 inches from a TV for that long. Yeah,
walk to the couch,
right?
Yeah,
walk to the couch. See if you can walk to the couch. And down.
If you were ever injured or in sketchy health situations, never listen to anything Neil says.
No,
it's never in your benefit.
It's in my benefit. It's going to be hilarious if you do what I tell you to do.
He's like,
Talking
hey,
about when
if there's
someone got
a-
their back popped.
If there's a
drink this, you'll be
camera,
fine.
it could be great on YouTube's. Like you could be a YouTube's master.
Yeah, Kenneth got all these like knots and everything worked out.
I remember this story.
And he goes to stand up, and Jen's telling him like, "Take it easy. You're gonna be really messed up." And immediately Neil just goes, "Hey, Kenneth, walk to the couch." He tried to take a step and just fell fast.
Yeah,
he fell fast,
faster than he should have for a little dude. Like he's smaller than you have ever been. Like,
what's that?
you're the little guy at the table. You're gonna get made fun of.
Okay.
But there was no effort. Like a foot didn't come out to try to take a step. Hands didn't come out to try to catch himself. He didn't even turn.
And the top half of his body went forward.
He didn't even turn his head to the side. And it was just kertang.
Yeah, and it was like an inch and a half from the corner of a coffee table. Yeah. And then he just kind of laid there, and it took him almost 20 minutes to get to the couch because like he wanted to try really hard to do it, and he just looks like this retarded grub worm. Oh my goodness, it was so much fun.
It was 20 minutes of this sound just.
It's like a cutscene you would think from like Monty Python to just waste 20 minutes. So like, you know what? Our movie's only an hour long. It needs to be an hour and 20 minutes. Go get that dude trying to move from the couch to the other couch.
I'm hurt real bad.
This is why I wish that the cameras on cell phones were a little bit better 10 years earlier. But I also am very happy they weren't.
They weren't. Yeah. We could have been very, very popular, or very, very made fun of on the internet,
or worse.
Yeah. Yeah.
They catch a lot of people.
Well, we would just have to dedicate more to the open of the show to calling those people out. Like, yeah.
We're going to start with the moment of hate.
Yeah. Hope you get hit in the face with an apple pie fresh out the oven.
Oh, no, I like apple pie, though. That's a waste of apple pie.
Yeah, but the scaldingness,
Make
the
it
hot.
cherry. Make it cherry.
Okay, cherry. Yeah. Similar sugar content, kind of syrupy. It'll work.
And it'll look like blood
Yeah, that too.
when boils.
How about spoiled
You
apple
could just
pie?
be there for the bounce pass with a plate.
There was some joke I heard a long time ago. Was something about not being able to afford a car with airbags. So you try to do the next best thing and just duct tape a jelly donut to your steering wheel until you get rear-ended and you slam into it. Blood go. The driver behind you thinks your head exploded.
Well, that's if you get cherry or strawberry.
Yeah, you got the car.
Bavarian
You got the
cream
car
or
and
something like that.
You're foaming at the mouth. It's like he's rabid.
Yeah, you get out of the car screaming and you're like,
oh. Yeah, that's what happens on the show sometimes. You see what happened? Yeah. It just gets sidetracked.
no, I like going
nothing too much
into
wrong.
realms of absurdity.
Yeah, absurdity is entertaining.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
I generally like to derail. It's fun.
Yeah, you do like to do that. I'm not going to agree that it's fun.
It is for me. That's what matters.
So I'll go to something official. Marvel news. It was rumored today, and to kind of go back to Mission Impossible, Rebecca Ferguson from the latest Mission Impossible movie rumored to play Miss Marvel, and I thought she was no one. Maybe you've seen the latest Mission Impossible, maybe.
Yeah.
No one else has.
Yeah, it's not available on the
Oh yeah,
internet yet.
that's the new one.
Yeah, the new one.
Is it still in theaters?
Yes.
Yeah. Sure.
Yeah,
Still in
the,
theaters.
Is there?
tailing
You've seen
end.
it? Is there a fire extinguisher scene?
It's
So I'll go see it.
honestly, I saw it pre-Hitch, so we're now 3 weeks of debilitating abuse and then 2 weeks of off time.
So it's not
I
in
don't
theaters
remember.
anymore.
No, I don't remember much of it. That's what I'm trying to say. I remember that as far as Michelin Impossible movies go.
Mission Impossible. That should be.
Usually the movies come out at the beginning, but now
Hollywood, if you're listening, even our guests are making movies that are better than what you're making right now. Michelin Impossible needs to be a thing.
people won't bitch about there being advertisement in it because they're expecting it.
Not at
right?
all. Not at all.
It's literally Ghostbusters Mission Impossible mixed.
I picture the Michelin Man running alongside a building and climbing it, just doing that.
I want Bill Murray to be in it.
I think you might have went too far with that.
I think we just want to just rent out a discount tire for a day and film it.
It needs some white spray paint.
Yeah,
and,
but it's got that old lady
bunch of
from.
pillowcases.
It's got that old lady from the old discount tire commercials, just heaving tires through
Throwing the tires
windows.
through windows.
That just keeps happening in the background. We don't know why. Like downtown Manhattan, she just like goes on a window breaking spree. Like that old lady's spry. Like
Well,
she's got
the
some
best
strength.
part about that is she was good enough to throw a tire through a window and have the window lay back down where you could read discount tires. Like it
Yeah.
landed
Yeah.
on the ground. Like that's a magical
thinking,
tire or a magical woman.
She's the villain, right? Because she's breaking stuff, and the Michelin Man is trying to catch her.
No, we let them figure that kind of stuff out. We just give them ideas. You don't. That's it.
Yeah, just the name of the thing is Michelin Impossible. It's got the old lady from Discount Tire. She's probably long dead, but you got CGI, and you got the Michelin Man.
Betty White.
Figure it out. Figure it
Put
out.
Betty White in her shoes.
No, I'm pretty sure she does the Frank's Red Hot sauce now.
It's not product. You can do product placement with the hot sauce in the movie. That's how deals work out, man.
What if Norm Macdonald showed up and tried to sell chicken?
Oh god,
He hates the new KFC commercials, so I
I
bring
hate
them
all the
up often.
KFC commercials. It's absurd.
Norm Macdonald needs to stop. he's needed to stop for quite some time.
He really never should have started.
It depends on your age
Men at
group.
work.
No, it depends on your age
Is he in
group.
that one?
Oh yeah, he's in that one.
Yeah, you had to be real young for that. That's what I'm saying. It
Yeah.
depends on your age group.
Yeah, I saw it when I was like 6. It was all
Right, and so it was hilarious. When you get older, it wasn't.
That's why I'm not going to watch it again.
I know you don't. It was in that era. He made his money.
There's a
leave it
reason
alone.
I don't go back and watch Knight Rider.
And that's why I'm saying he needed to stop. He had his
I
SNL
think
time.
Kevin Nealon's done pretty well for himself. I've enjoyed his stuff he's been in.
What has he done?
He was in Weeds for the longest time, which was great.
yeah, actually,
Yeah.
you
Okay,
that
all right.
very well.
Am I the only one that Weeds fell off for? Because I stopped.
Oh no, it fell
could,
off.
yeah.
But I mean,
I
yeah.
watched it up like to
Like the last 2 seasons were like, yeah, you can go ahead with that.
What season number is that?
It was like 6, I think they made
Oh
it to.
man, I made it to like 3 and I fell off.
yeah, there was like 3 more.
Whenever
The bake shop.
Aggressive, what was it, Aggressive or whatever the name of the neighborhood
Yeah,
is? Once they left that neighborhood, that neighborhood was a character. They
Right.
just left that behind.
Yeah.
Right when when the place burned down and they started the bakery shop and stuff.
Yeah,
they lost
done.
me.
Yeah, see, I watched one more season because I was like, I'll give it a shot. Because I mean,
Oh yeah, I tried. I tried. I gave it a solid.
Like,
I gave it another season.
there
but-
were some good episodes that I was like, I didn't
the
banana.
banana. The banana is one of my favorites.
Okay, so we have the Dying Weeds TV series. What else is Kevin Nealon then?
Oh, that's about it.
Okay.
He's been on a few other little like bit parts, but nothing major.
He still tours and does stand up. He comes to Houston on a regular
Really?
basis.
Yeah, he's here at least 3 times a year.
I think if somebody's got the right personality for it, they could do that kind of stuff until the end of time. But like getting the kind of pop culture sales kind of.
Oh, dude, it happens, man. Friggin' Bobcat's coming in 2 weeks.
yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a lot of years. Yeah.
Funny thing is, like, he became like a really, I don't know if you could say successful. Successful to me because he makes entertaining movies, but he's done a decent number of movies.
I'm just impressed, like given
69.
the allusion to his
What?
private
69
lifestyle that
movies.
he's still alive.
Bobcat?
Honestly.
69 movies?
Oh no, Kevin Nealon.
Kevin Nealon? Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm looking at him.
So I was like, if it's Bobcat and he did 69 movies, I was like, that number's intentional.
So, how many people remember the end of Ghost Protocol, the cheesy restaurant table scene thing?
Not me.
Yeah,
That's not the newest Mission Impossible, is it?
that's the last one.
Ghost Protocol?
I don't think I've seen the one before
It's
either.
the last one.
90.
The restaurant one?
Yeah, where they all end at the restaurant and it's like, well, if you ever wanted to do this again, I'd be up for it. And they all go.
Oh, so many movies have done that, man.
Yeah.
Like Fast and Furious has done that like at least 5 times.
It was corny as fuck. Anyways, what I was going to say is they branched considerably from that. I took it like it could be a standalone, the new one.
So the last one
Oh, yeah.
wasn't that great.
Yeah,
I have
it
it
was
on
good.
Blu-ray, I think.
I remember actually listening to the soundtrack on the way to soccer games with Trevor
It's
in high school.
Oh yeah,
For the original one. Do
The original.
do you
Mission
remember that
Impossible.
game?
oh yeah.
Yeah.
you remember the game on? I think it was the original Xbox.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
wasn't
why.
very good at it.
That's why I asked about the fire extinguisher because that was the best level when you had to run around the fire extinguisher. Because no, everyone's like, I can't do this, and I'm just like, watch, because that was my
The
favorite.
last first-person shooter I played on a console, I think, was GoldenEye. I didn't really
That's
do much.
going
I didn't play
back.
Halo. Like I didn't. As soon as the Xbox came out, I quit.
Fuck do you think Destiny is?
I don't play Destiny.
He didn't play Destiny.
I don't
Oh,
own.
really?
I don't own a console
At all?
No.
Or a computer, apparently.
The only console in his house
You've
is my
fallen
extra
so
Xbox.
far, Neil.
I have two actually. I have one that was banned from Microsoft as well because it may or may not have been running.
You didn't trade mine for that one, did you?
Nope.
Okay, so mine's still good.
Sure. I hadn't turned it on in 6 months because I haven't used it, but it's still sitting under my TV.
Because I'm going to need that eventually for a Xbox LAN party.
Oh, nice.
Oh, yeah? What are you doing?
Probably Halo.
What, the new one?
No.
Oh, you're going...
Oh, yeah.
Old school.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah. We'll get 2 projectors.
Well, if we want to do that, I can bring my original Xbox.
But we can only find one of those. No, you said you had some. The original?
Mine red ringed. I can get some from Derek because he's got like a tower of them.
We talked
Hang on.
about this.
Hold on. Number one, he said Halo. That would... Red Ring was after that.
Oh, like the original?
Red Ring is
Yeah.
360.
Oh, okay. I've got 2. Yeah, I've got 2.
Like the black
original.
Xbox. Like
Yeah.
the cool look. Like a
Or you
Rock
could
Vasquez amp,
Craigslist
actually.
probably a
Yeah.
stack
The green
of them.
circle.
I've got
Yeah.
2 of them. I know one of them actually works.
I got one in the closet that works.
Because we've got a few
But
projectors.
if we're gonna do like a Halo tournament, I want to do Halo 3. Or no, Halo 2. Halo 2.
Oh, if we're going to do Halo 2, might as well do a PC.
Oh,
That way I can bunny hop with a sniper rifle.
Hold on. Didn't they do Combat Evolved for PC?
Was it 10?
That's number one.
Was it 1 that's on PC?
Yeah.
I don't know. I've played that one a lot because I've made people rage quit because I would jump off of things, zoom in, and shoot them in the head with the sniper rifle because there were no physics to that game. If it was on point, you got it.
That's why I love.
well, part of it.
to give.
One of the maps had the 2 like gravity launch pads on each side.
Oh, the ice with the horseshoe?
The what?
It's an icy one with the horseshoe. It's like a horseshoe with the 2 gravity things.
Yeah,
Well,
so
there
far
were a
you've
couple
said
maps.
30 words, and all of them were horseshoe, ice, or floaty.
Yeah, but I'm doing this.
You just continue to say the same words.
As long as you're doing,
order.
as long as you're doing,
As
hand
long as
motions.
you're doing the hand motions.
As long as you're doing hand motions.
Yeah.
You could.
So if you're watching on YouTube, you understand. If you're listening on Libsyn,
You're fucking confused.
Yeah, Libsyn. Yeah. If this were a deli, he would have ordered like 30 pastrami sandwiches, which is the hand. You know, the thing with the ice and the horse, you know.
Oh, you sent me something.
pastrami's the worst kind of sandwich you can order too. Why would you want 50 of those?
Yeah,
I'm
those,
saying.
I saw that.
It's like,
Eh.
I don't know.
I had seen Collateral, by the way. I just saw your
Yeah.
message. Yeah, I saw that
I know
movie. That
you've
thing's
seen
like
it.
5 years old.
Yeah, it's old. It's so older than 5 years.
Yeah, it's quite a bit.
In my head, that's Taxi.
It was the first. It was the first. It was the
He
first.
was in a taxi.
It was the first big budget feature that was done on digital.
Oh, okay.
Nice.
Yeah. Like, because I can never remember the name of that movie, so I was
What do
always
you mean,
just
like Reds
Taxi.
or what?
No, as far as I know, first digital feature.
You mean Reds?
I don't know.
The company Red.
I don't know your brands.
It's not.
I ain't about that life.
It's Red Digital. It's the brand.
What to talk about the brand for what?
The people that make 6K cameras.
Oh, I ain't got that kind of money.
Yeah, well, neither do people that want Panavision. So their alternative is Red for like 1/10 the cost.
Why are you looking at Taylor Swift on the internet?
Because apparently she uses Red Digital.
Dude, man, she played in the Minute Maid Park.
Yeah, odd concert venue.
I saw your picture.
Yeah, they're like 3 of the parking lots between when you exit downtown to Minute Maid had nothing but her 18-wheelers with her tour and like all the stuff on the back. And like when I was leaving work, every like block around was blocked off. Oh my goodness, people love her.
We should make some bumper stickers that say "No one gives a fuck."
Was Charlie down there?
Or
in line?
He didn't respond for quite some time.
Yeah, because he immediately jumped out the window and went running towards that direction.
Even
screw the
better,
car.
we
I
want
got to have you.
just to add that layer of mystery. We'll just make them say NOC.
Oh, nice.
Tack them all over everything.
Very
Be like,
nice.
"What's NOC?" No one cares, bitch.
NOCB. Wrap it up, B.
I could deal with that. I would pay for the bumper stickers.
Right.
I'm down.
You said sticker. I'll be right back.
Oh, great. Who knows what he's going to go do?
Oh, what's this all about?
Okay.
Speaking of Tom Cruise, does Luna Park mean anything to either of you two?
What was it?
Luna Park.
That rings a bell.
I just got a thing that pops up. Basically, he's reuniting with Doug Liman for a sci-fi and heist film called Luna Park. And like I tried to look it up and couldn't find much about it. I think this is just like, first things coming out. But
Tom Cruise was almost Iron Man.
yeah. Yeah.
Okay. To answer your question about the Red Digitals, for a bargain basement of $24,000, you can get a camera that shoots digitally at 6K RAW, all the way down to 720p at every interval resolution at 23.98 frames per second, all the way up to 60.
Oh, wow. I stopped listening at like the 10th number.
It's pretty much everything you wish a film camera did, but in digital, and it's the size of a cube.
Very, very.
Oh, yeah.
That's you and Matt, right?
So like a normal film Panavision would be like $500,000. These are $20,000. 20 grand.
I don't know what camera they used on Collateral, but I remember listening.
If they say it's digital and they're harping it as digital, they use this one.
Okay.
Cameron uses these. Anybody that uses digital uses these.
Well, I don't know. I don't know what brand camera it was. I'll remember like in the special features they were talking about like the first digital feature, they lit the sets like they normally would light the sets, like all the exterior stuff. They lit them like they normally would. Then they realized like this is horribly overexposed, so they had to start like they took down all of their lights and still had too much light. Like their night sequences, like there's a sequence on the top of a parking garage. They actually had to go like they couldn't get a hold of management or whatever. They had to start going around and breaking light like lampposts because there was just too much light and they had to get their shots in. So they paid to have all those replaced.
What, do you just have one of every random beer in there?
No, there's more than one.
Yeah.
Two of every random beer.
So that refrigerator is like the IHOP sampler of beers.
Yeah, basically.
A sampler.
An IHOP sampler at that. Yeah.
I don't know why I said IHOP. There's much better samplers to choose from.
Don't forget the Andy's
Would you like an Andy's Mint with your beer,
An Andy's
Matt?
Mint, yeah.
Prepared.
I'm not sure any... After drinking root beer, I'm not sure any beer is going to taste the way it's supposed to.
This is true.
It's kind of weird.
In Klondike bar, what would you do for it?
It's like I need a clean out, like I'm wine tasting or something.
Right, get you some ginger.
Yeah.
You want some?
No. One of those, what's the breath strip things?
Listerine?
No, Listerine strips.
Yeah.
Yeah, those just make everything taste like a mint.
That would be really confusing if you just handed someone a beer and just slid a finger bowl over to them. It's like
he's gonna do it now.
Like a warm towel. Like we want you to have the greatest experience you can have at your friend's house with a beer.
And a slice of cucumber. Because that makes everything better.
One slice though, not two.
Just one.
Just one slice.
Fuck, Kyle. It's about being a good host, man. I mean, come on.
It's called teamwork. You gotta find a friend if you want another cucumber.
Well, it's still kind of hot because we're in Texas. Do you want? I'm trying to power through.
No,
you want a
too far gone.
cold towel or warm towel? Sports Clips gives you an option.
They do.
Do I need to give you an option or just pick one for you?
Do they really offer a cold towel?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do the cold towel and face to the hot towel because it's hot outside.
No, they don't.
They do actually.
Yeah.
Do they
Actually,
offer that up, or you have to ask
only
for it?
one place has offered it, like both ways.
I've never had them.
Like, but most of them ask like warm towel. I'm like, yes,
Yeah.
I'm normal.
Yeah,
I would like
exactly.
a warm towel. But
Why
like
the
one
fuck would I
time,
want a
I was
cold
asked,
towel?
"Would you like a warm or a cold towel?" And I was like, "Why?"
Why would I want that?
And I asked her, I was like, "Why? No." I was like, I've never wanted a cold towel on my face while you shampooed my head. And they're like, well, some people say it's too hot outside. I was like, well, we're inside.
Yeah, some idiot impromptu added that for one crazy guy. I'm sure.
Right? And now they're doing it for everyone.
That's not a corporate thing. There's no way.
But yeah, it was only the one over by the office.
The commercial says everywhere because the one over here was doing it. They had like the little sign, but when I went, they were like, "Here's your fucking warm towel." Like they didn't even give me an option.
I didn't even see like the little refrigerator at the one I went to the other day. Yeah, they have a towel refrigerator.
While we're talking about sports clips,
This is all for a haircut.
Yeah.
Right, all this is for a haircut. It's like going to like Texas Motor Speedway and you see like the spa when they give you the tour.
No. Hold on. You're talking about. Let's respect the command decision there, and that they're adding services that people are paying for that don't cost them any more money. Okay, so fair enough. Some of them are cheesy, like the little massage, though, which is what I was going to bring up.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't do that.
Like and it's not even like
No,
it's
they sell the massager they use now.
It's like the 1980s massager with the little aluminum bit that comes to the pad, and I'm like, where did y'all get them?
I'm fairly certain in the 50s they came with other accessories you could put where that is.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
So, yeah.
But you're talking about what do they add? Like $8 to do all that extra crap?
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Well, but you can. It's like $2 more if you just get the shampoo and stuff. So that's definitely worth it. it.
Oh, and every time I like even ask for any of that, I definitely picture the girl like doing an eye roll so fucking hard she's like ingraining her pupils in her skull as she does it. I can only imagine.
Well, because I was at the like, they're like, do you want the MVP?
Do you want the MVP?
And I go, no. Or no, they go, do you want the triple play? That's what they ask. Because that's
oh yeah, you're right. MVP.
They're like, you want the triple play? And they say it like, please say yes because there's a competition, but God, say no.
Yeah.
I'm like no, and they're like, I want the MVP.
I did it one time.
They're just like.
She asked, and all I had to say was yes. So it was like lowest point of barrier. Like all I had to say was yes. I didn't have to say yes. I want that thing where you massage my shoulders, and it's cheesy as fuck. Just to see how long it was for, and it was not long enough to warrant anything. And I was just like, "That's."
Yeah, I've done it. I think I've done it once on your recommendation.
They do it right now.
I'll take the hot towel and the shampoo. Don't get me wrong.
They type in what you do and what you got last time. So when I went this last time, they asked me, "Hey, would you like the MVP?"
What's going on over there?
He's playing it. This
is the Indian head massage where they basically like you pay them to beat the shit out of you.
No, that guy's awesome. He's world famous.
The guy, the slapper dude?
Yeah, people have like fucking ventured to go see that man.
Really?
Yeah.
They're gonna have to. He probably lives in a hut because he has so many lawsuits.
There's actually
people.
Rooster Teeth talks about this guy. There's it's like a pilgrimage that people are making to go to this crazy head massager Indian guy. And there's actually a playlist on YouTube where there's like
turn it so people can see him beat the crap out of the head.
There's a dozen.
It's fine.
There's a dozen or so people getting the same treatment by him, but none of them are on the same channel. Like it's like 12 different people that have all ventured to this guy in India to get this head massage.
Oh yeah, there's a playlist that I saw linked off of this video that's like 50 videos deep.
But it's not. None of those guys know each other. They're not the same playlist. They're not the same YouTube channel. Those are different people that have ventured to the same barber to get that done to them.
You know what's relaxing? Someone punching me in the head repeatedly.
Hey,
well, does he? Maybe he preps you at the beginning.
Everything he's doing right now looks like it would be
you're
comfortable.
doing this to people you hate.
That guy looks comfortable.
You know, like all those shout outs earlier from Matt. Like, just picture you're doing this to their head. Just feel it. Close your eyes and. That's
what this reminds me of.
Huh?
At the job. At the job. That?
Yeah, a little bit.
The row after row of the sound of one hand clapping?
Yeah.
What'd the guy next to him do wrong to not get that? That's
right?
I'm wondering.
He's just like, I'm not going to do this.
Are all the people doing it crazy white people?
Yes.
See, because that guy knows the truth.
So we found the one thing everyone's had in common.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's all white dudes.
It's the continuing cult of exclusivity.
I don't know. I think like next time I can't sleep, I'm gonna watch that.
Take that video to the chick at Sport Cuts and be like, just smack me up.
Start a new trend, then tell me what Sport Cuts, and I'll go there.
Right.
We'll each do a video too.
You want a hot towel or a cold towel? Towel goes on.
Yeah. You're like,
oh god,
joke's on you. I didn't need to fly to India, bitch. I taught the girl at Sports Clips.
Right?
Yeah, see, that couldn't be done in America because someone gets a little sore and there's a lawsuit.
Oh, you just got something to write down where you're like, it's all good.
Waiver.
You can hit me.
Waiver. No problem.
Yeah, you can do anything with a waiver.
Yep.
There's a lawsuit with a waiver, too.
Bill Cosby would be in a lot less trouble if he had everyone sign a waiver.
I don't think so.
We'll never know.
I don't think that's how it works.
Pudding.
The pudding pops out.
Yeah, see, that's great when you can derail Kyle.
Yeah.
It takes talent.
It's like, do you want to make the past 24 hours like Kodak film? It might develop, it might not. We'll see what happens.
All right. Libsyn.
Yeah, Indian head smacking.
You're looking at me like I'm supposed to do something.
I got a serious question for everybody.
Uh-oh.
Let's go around the table with like what's your actual job title and like the quickest one sentence description of what you do is. Neil, you can start.
I don't know my job title.
You have a job title. Just spit it out.
Oh, tech op analyst.
Oh, that sounds fancy.
Yeah. I analyze tech operations.
Oh, well, they...
Wow.
I guess operations manager.
What field? You gotta add a field.
I do all of it. If it has anything to do with IT in either one of these three companies, I do it all.
Okay.
I'm an instrumentation supervisor, and I supervise it.
I have like a 3-page document with all of my various titles I could have.
I, of course, have to fuck with Kyle. So you're looking at a screen with measurements from instruments on it.
No, not at all. Actually.
Well, you've got to supervise the instruments.
Yeah. The instrumentation. Instrumentation.
The
protractors get out of line, right?
Them compasses, dude. Don't turn your back on a compass.
Yeah.
They're in their own room, right? Separated by rulers.
Those fucking guys.
Looks like you were on the verge and just, no.
I'm thinking in my head like, there better not be any obtuse angles happening in that room. Damn it. I know.
The pause for effect.
Don't go past 90.
Nope.
And I'm a offshore electrical supervisor. So my question to all you guys would be, when's
So
the
you
last
supervise
time?
offshore electricity?
Yes, actually I do. In more ways than one.
There's like lightning strikes in the distance and like Orochi like saw it.
Don't lightning strikes are a sore subject. Don't bring those
Yes,
up.
they are. Because when y'all can't fix it, you call us. Well, not you, but
Let's just say my responsibilities range from someone saying there's a fucking light flickering in their bedroom to a fucking frequency droops on a fucking $20 million fucking electrical generating plant.
fuck, you say fuck a lot.
It's upsetting sometimes, okay? Especially when you get calls about the light flickering.
Yeah.
It's not your fault.
Yeah.
Have you tried turning it off and on again?
Oh, you need to see my presentation about what my department does.
They turn it off and on again.
I have like 3.5 minutes of IT crowd clips because they're like, it needs to be 30 minutes. And I'm like, YouTube. like I can do this in 15, and that's explaining everything. So I need to find some filler.
So when's the last time any of you guys had like a bright-eyed, bushy-tailed, optimistic 18 to 20-year-old come into your workplace to learn what you do every day?
I've got a few right now.
How many's a few?
Probably 3 or 4.
What led them to that path?
Money. Most of them are fresh out of college. So
college graduates. Basically, they went IT degree-wise, and it was irrelevant in its entirety.
Yes.
And they're trying to learn what they actually need to know.
They're starting out in a...
Okay, so that's one camp.
Yeah.
Go to school, learn what you're supposed to do, and waste 4 years not learning how to do it.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else?
There's a real cutie that decided to come to my place.
We know how they got their job.
No, not at all. This dude.
If we lose one,
This dude.
you.
No, like we have mutual friends.
Hang on, Kyle's picking up on it now.
You said this
Yeah, we have mutual friends, and I looked while he was being interviewed. I looked him up on Facebook.
Kyle's upset you don't refer to him as cutie.
Well, it's like when you see someone
upset
like
if he did.
you done this, where it's like you hear something come out of your mouth and like, oh, you're cute. It's like
Not
really
in public and not to a man.
But when you got home, you thought about it.
But it's when
None of your business.
when I while he was being interviewed by my boss, I looked him up, like all the Facebook stuff, see if like what does this person do? You know, there may be a hint of their job history.
Online stalked him.
You stalked a
I'm telling
cutie.
a fucking story. So, but I found out like, oh, we have like a friend in common. Let me go call him real quick and figure out what this guy's story is. He's like, oh, you're interviewing him? Yeah, he's a sweetie. It's like you're interviewing. He was like, you're interviewing for what job?
I think I would be worried at that point.
Yeah, well, I go into the interview, ask him questions. I'm like, so what's the long term dude that's never touched anything IT but now wants to like do IT stuff? It's like, maybe like do after a couple of years, like maybe start consulting. Like, okay, ambition there. All right.
You're gonna learn a lot in that couple of years.
So it basically, he was hired, and then day one, as I'm short of showing, like, here's my group policy sets, here's our active grade, here's Link, here's what I'm working with in this, all this exchange, and he's like, yeah, I've never really seen any of this stuff before. I was like, your resume said differently, and you in the interview also said differently.
Did you also say that's cute?
And I was like, this is gonna be fun. So yeah, he was hired against my recommendation. So now I'm stuck with him.
Why did he get hired against your recommendation?
Well, you assumed he was attractive.
Apparently, we got everybody calling him a cutie, and he's sweet, and he's got a lot going for him, Neil.
Hey.
You need to not be so critical, okay? Why are you such a hater?
If he jumps on the bus now, he
drank some
could have a near future as a hand model for like 3 years maybe.
Ooh.
Yeah, doing this in commercials.
Apparently, we all need to learn something from him because he can get hired somewhere where someone recommends against hiring him.
Right.
Yeah, it
That is
wasn't.
a life skill.
Yeah.
It wasn't my choice. I was like, yeah, he's not going to do what you want him to do. Because they were looking for someone to take over like everything that I do for the sister company, and I'm like, he ain't the dude. I'm not going to give him access because he ain't the dude. Like, for real.
I'm not gonna let him try to be the dude.
Because I offered too. I was like, I can write a test. I'm good at that.
I can have a 30-page manual with a 50-page test by tomorrow at 4:30.
Not even that. It wouldn't even need that. I'll give you 10 questions. I'll give you 10 questions and prove that you're not ready for this job.
I have one of your tests in that book, actually.
Really?
That's my my CSI book.
Nice. Yeah, like I don't have any of this material. Like I go back and like talk to Derek, and he's got the archives. Like he's got the paper prints.
That's my only archive.
Nice.
Because I was going through a closet and
I don't have anything either. We spent so much time creating all that, and then we didn't even keep a copy.
Yeah,
I have that.
I have
your resume from the 90s.
Yeah, I know.
I've got
to see that.
I've got all the TSGs up to
Right
the
over
point where people started contributing to it. So I've got up to like 5.2, and then like 5.3 is when people started giving me articles. So there's like when it went from like 88 pages and we maxed out what the printer could put staples through to the point where it had to start being hand stapled.
Yeah.
I don't have that copy anymore. But
just brought us a binder.
I know AT&T still has that copy.
Yeah.
That's why I have a binder. Because it was in sections when I got there.
You never saw 7. I started writing 7 just as U-verse was on its way out, and it had been broken down into other, like, this is book 1, this is book 2, this is book 3. There was like probably 20 books or so. So yeah, I was going the L. Ron Hubbard route for teaching.
Well, and the bad thing it was for SBC DSL. You had 4 things you could do.
Oh yeah,
And 3 of them were turn it off and on again.
How many years did that last, too?
Oh, they're still using the manual that we wrote.
Oh.
yeah.
Yeah, but for how big of a customer base?
Well,
AT&T still got a lot of
U-verse hasn't
margin.
changed. Like the product hasn't
like
changed.
the U-verse that I had before I switched to Comcast is the same thing I supported on that specialty line.
In 2005,
2000,
10 years
Yeah,
ago.
it's still the
it was
same
It's,
product.
it's a different 2-wire
2006
router,
manager.
but that's it.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Actually,
Yeah, started on
the
the
2-wire looked the same. When I logged into it, I was like, oh, this is a piece of shit.
Yeah.
It's like, I hated this thing. The only thing that changed is you don't have to have the utility tool to reset passwords like we used to.
Yeah.
So that was the only difference.
Oh no, they still have that because I've walked someone through it over the phone.
Recently?
Yeah, my mom has the service, and I call every time I go there. There's a problem with her internet service, so I call, and I'm like, "Oh, you're in Manila? Okay."
Oh, they hated me in quality. They did.
No, because I mean, like, I have a warm spot in my heart for Manila because I made so many of those agents cry when we were training them to begin with.
Anytime I was in a group calibration for quality, someone went back to speaking English. Like, they went back to the tutor.
Yeah.
Because I was like, no, I counted them off. They're like, well, we're not calibrated on this. I was like, they don't know English.
I always get a laugh. I always get a laugh from them because I'm like, oh,
Them don't talk good.
I always get a
He
laugh.
said, my name is Susan. He read the wrong name.
They're into giving like real names now. Like the secret's out, so they're into like giving like real names.
The secret was out when they answered the phone.
Oh yeah. But I mean, Manila, kind of passable. The India call center, not at all.
No.
But Manila was a little bit passable.
Manila's pretty ingrained as far as our culture goes.
Yeah.
Yeah. But I always get a giggle out of them because I'm like, so do you work at a converter center? And like, I can't answer that question. I was like, look down. Every center has the same carpet. And then they start immediately dying laughing. This is what I was told. And plus, Matt has shown me pictures he goes around and tours like a bunch of different CBG centers, and goes to train all these ass clowns on whatever project there is, and invariably, like every picture I've seen that he's shown me, same carpet. Well, the same Nintendo. Someone pulled the game out without turning the power off. Carpet.
Oh yeah,
that same carpet.
That's the same thing that Ned and James, the two managers.
Yeah.
Because they came from Tucson and then they went somewhere else. When I talked to them, they're like, yeah, every single call center is the same. It's like high school threw up on office space.
The only one that wasn't the same was Ohio, because that was a Ford design center before they took it over.
Yeah, I don't know about Ohio.
Like Ford Motor Company. Yeah, it was one of their feature centers where they would like do a project there with a small group to like convince clients to come in. Like, all of our centers look like this. Yeah, and it's like, each agent sitting at like a $10,000 desk. Yeah, and then you go to Brownsville, where it's really different.
Jesus.
I always had to keep a paperclip or a quarter.
Anything to short out the phone.
Oh yeah, I love playing Morse code on those things so bad.
Yeah,
dude, pins 2 and 4.
Yeah. You did miss out by not being at Convergys. It was a lot of fun.
I feel like I missed a lot of
chair jousting, 2002.
Yeah.
While I was gone, I kind of subjected myself to things like the IT crowd and things like that to make me feel like I was home again.
Now you can listen to us while you're away from the house.
I even miss it to this day. Like knowing that any problem that could annoy or make you just want to bitch your little heart out could be fixed by a keyboard instead of having to go somewhere and people getting mad because you don't get there fast enough.
Yeah.
That's a comforting feeling.
True.
So. I was mentioned on Facebook the other day. I get one of like the little notifications. I was like, so I log in. Someone's like, yeah, I remember the Meow game. And then they tagged me. It was like, he got really high. And I'm just like, oh, that was like 63, I think, on that call.
Remember the 15 minutes? Remember the 2 wheels? There was 2 wheels. One wheel was a technical word, and the other wheel was an accent.
Yeah.
And you spun both, and whenever that word came up, you had to say it with that accent. And Jerry Lott, I think was his name.
Yeah.
That was before
he ended that game for everyone. He got Scottish and router. And it was the best day. We had so many calls waiting because like I dialed in.
I'm just imagining.
I dialed in and made sure that this can't go against my employment because it's like we're talking about like 10 years ago. So come at me, bro. But
as long as your Scottish is good, you just make sure you're saying Rooter and you're good.
He made it so.
He
perfect.
went to 11 every time this word came up, and he was kind of squeamish about it at first. But then he realized, like, dude, you have an audience. We have calls waiting.
Didn't we even like dial in to listen to him from another desk with like the quality system?
Yeah,
so we had a crowd of people, so we wouldn't bother him.
I dialed in from Jay's desk, which was like way in the front.
That's happened a few times.
Yeah.
Within 2 minutes, we had like 30 people crowded around listening to it because he was like, yeah, I have to ask you, ma'am, do you have a router like plugged in? And the call went for like 45 minutes.
And everyone is just listening to this. No one's like taking calls at all.
Yeah.
Because like you'd hear him get louder and louder, like the few times he said it, and you just like everyone around starts their head coming up.
Well, I mean, this was when the project. This is when we closed at 11 o'clock, and there were 7 people there, and managers were long gone.
They left before.
Yeah, they were gone. So it was just, I think it was maybe me and Hadwin that were there, or maybe I think it was me and Jeremiah.
I think it was Jeremiah.
And yeah, so that was it. And Jeremiah was in the break room, so it was like, dude, never leave an 18-year-old in charge.
They made that mistake a lot when I was there.
Yeah, there's so many nights. Me and Joe were really playing chair joust.
Yeah, there's a lot of that too.
Yeah, the steel caps on the cubicles, we found out you can pull those off. One of them was 6 feet long, so we chair jousted.
I was willing to push anyone in the chair towards someone else in a chair with a big stick of metal at any time.
Yeah.
I can't imagine this beat our late nights, considering we stayed
no
data centric for like till 2 or 3.
There was no one else there but us.
Yeah. That was our office after 6, basically.
Yeah. And we only had support till 10, but we were there till like 2.
Well, why leave fucking 3 T1s?
Yeah.
And our mini fridge.
More
and
people showed up after 10.
That, and you had Banana Bay right across the street.
Right, and the 7-Eleven or whatever was right there too.
Yeah.
So, I mean,
There's also a Sonic really close. I remember getting
Sonic.
and a Pizza Hut.
slushies and
a
vodka.
Pizza Hut. You ordered from that Pizza Hut. It was there in fucking 15 minutes.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
great.
Ah, the days.
Remember Needful worked there? That was weird.
Yeah.
that was weird.
Good time.
See, I miss shit like that. You don't have that kind of experience when you go somewhere to work half the year.
No, that when you get older, you stop doing stupid shit.
Yeah, I like certain offices, man.
I doubt that highly, Neil.
No. It's not really acceptable when you don't make minimum wage anymore.
Right.
Like as soon as you pass the cusp, you can't do stuff like that and expect to keep your job.
I do my fair share of stupid. I'm not ever gonna.
I don't.
I was
I don't
shocked
let
in
that go.
6 years of my time
I'm just
there.
more
I never went
embarrassed
to
about
HR
it now.
once.
That's the difference.
Really?
Never did. Never got called into HR once.
Oh, it's still going. I thought the lights went off on the camera for a minute.
Actually,
I was like, oh,
Yeah,
they
you
lost
gotta-
us.
It
I was
flashes
like, what?
every second and a half. How did you miss it?
Oh, I don't know. I'm getting old.
I was only called in once at Convergys, and it's because I was about to fire an agent, and they wanted to do a complaint because he was known for doing this once it's been on my team.
Yeah.
So he put in a complaint, so I wouldn't be able to fire him for at least the time it would take to do the investigation, which all HR investigations go at least 6 months there. So, yeah, he would do that until he got transferred and then do it over again because it happened like 4 or 5 times.
Yeah, I would do the kick the lever thing on the chair, and I did it
was
once.
fun.
Within like 3 feet behind me was Pat. He was walking by. He walks up, and he was always awkward with conversation. Never wanted to get drawn into a conversation, so he walks up and he's like, again, I'm like, maybe 19 at this point, cargo shorts and a Simpsons shirt, and I'm in charge. And he walks by and he's like, "Do you like your job?" I was like, "I find it very fulfilling. How about you?" He's like,
I used to hate the chair thing because I'd be relaxed.
"Well, you always sat at the edge. You were perfect. You were perfect, man. You had that. It was such a fulfilling crunch whenever you hit the bottom of the travel of that chair. God, man, I used to love doing that.
Because the way that the desks were set up is it was perfect enough to where I could one hand document my entire call, right? So I would just have my feet up, and I'd have my mouse where I just switch from the keyboard to the mouse and like leaned right up against the cubicle. And every time I would not be paying attention, Chad would be boop. And just my legs would be it was
I kicked it with stank, man.
I wonder how many hydraulic lifts you broke.
I would messy the shit out of that handle, man. Bam. Bring it.
Yeah.
Luckily, I was only on the phones there for like 4 months before they had me walk.
Really? I broke chairs? We're talking about the place that had like 3 period chairs and I broke the chair? that we're still on the floor like a year later.
Right?
With a piece of paper over it saying don't use.
I remember when I got there was a chair graveyard.
Yeah, there was.
And when I worked, because I worked 410s, when I worked a late shift, I'd go take those and replace them. So there'd be like a good chair graveyard and then a bunch of shitty ones on the floor. So the morning shift would come in and be like,
Yeah.
oh, it was wonderful.
Oh.
It's like, get rid of your chairs.
And Dookie jeans. There are so many people that we witnessed there were like, how? Like, and you're young. You're young. I'm like, I'm 18, 19 and witnessing all this stuff. I was like, is it going to be like this forever? Because they didn't teach. Nobody, when we went to career day in high school, no one was like, you're going to see a lady drop a log out of her pants. Good luck with that. No one ever said anything about any of this. It's like, if you dream it, it can happen.
I saw a dude drop a log in a trash can at the bus stop the other day.
I was wondering what fiber did she have in her diet that it made it all the way down both legs and escaped the cuff without losing any mass. It didn't, like, it was like leave no one behind. It all came out.
Yeah.
It all came out. She might have a slug trail inside of her jeans, but it all came out. And it had length. It was at least a 9-inch long log that dropped out of her jeans. It was ridiculous.
What fucking bus stops are you hanging out at?
It was actually right across from my building. Like, there's
Just go and shoot the shit at the bus
Houston
stop?
may or may not have literally. Houston may or may not have a slight homeless person problem. And the building I work in, if they walk by the building, they get like followed and get told to leave because they harass us when we try to smoke and stuff.
That would be the best.
So like they go across the street and like harass people.
Colorful conversations with them while you're smoking.
None of them talk to me anymore, and they look.
Listen to episode 8.
Creeped out Houston's homeless population.
When they see me, they look straight down and walk until they're out of my view.
How did you do that?
I learned a few years ago.
Episode 8.
Don't treat them like people because they're not people.
Oh. So how do you poop in front of them?
I am absolutely like, I get asked 30 times a day for a cigarette. And it's the same 2 people asking me 30 times a day. So you just get more and more rude every time. And then you start bringing up, like, I was rude yesterday. I made fun of you yesterday and told you never talk to me again. Why did you come back? And then I asked them seriously. And they can't answer. I was like, well, then don't do it again. And then you give them math problems. Like, so you're telling me you want 5% of my cigarette pack? No, man, all I want is 1 cigarette. You know how many cigarettes come in a pack? No. 20 of them. What would 1 out of 20 be? 5%. Dude, this ain't worth it. And they'll just walk off. So you gotta teach them something, and they're not willing to stay around.
I don't think you taught them anything.
I don't think so either.
So you're using the teach a man to fish philosophy?
No, I'm just teaching them to stop wasting their own time, because I'll waste their time and then not give them a cigarette.
I feel like you've always been good at that and has little to do with homeless people asking for cigarettes. Yeah.
This could be true.
Yeah.
Yeah, the days of prank calling like the payphones at the stop and go.
I used to do the payphone at the church.
When you fake the radio voice like you're calling, like, this is 104.5.
I remember bored at the college when they were taking classes and we had to sit up there and we called Hooked on Phonics.
Yeah. That was always fun. Yeah.
Or figuring out the code to the copier.
Yeah, when we figured out the code of the printer and the copier, dude, like we would just press 99999 and put like a closed sign up there and just press the button and walk away. Yeah. Like we took an exit sign off the wall, typed in the code, and just pressed 9 until it told us to stop. And then we went next door to Walgreens, and we come back, and there's this poor girl trying to like stop it from working, and it's just shooting out like exit, 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 exit. And they're like, this happens all the time. We don't know what's happening. Like, we going through so much paper and ink. It was like, really?
The best one is when you have like a ridiculous print queue up, but all they see on the printer is like, it says to load more paper. And then don't like, it's load more paper.
Well, no, the worst thing was because I was like maybe 10, if that. But we had someone in our family that started working for the college. She became a secretary or admin or something, and we found out that the code was for a particular person because the teachers were charged for how much they printed. They're like they had an allowance and they went over that. Like it was cost more. So
because it would stop working.
There's like one guy that's just it was off.
It was really weird.
You could have invented the Facebook. You could have invented the Facebook. Have all the teachers up there. Which teacher do you hate? We know her code. Guess who's getting fired?
No, but yeah, it was funny because like codes would stop working, and then they would start working again like 3 weeks later. And like then when we had someone that worked, they're like, yeah, they have an account, so they're only allowed so many prints. And there were a lot of accounts, so it really wasn't that hard to find a code that worked.
Because it worked at all of the colleges.
Yeah. So yeah, it was.
So like there's I'm assuming it was like a professor at like across town. He's like, I've never been to that particular community college.
Yeah, it was
How
a very
could I
small
print
location.
99,000 exit signs?
And we did walk in and watch someone refill the paper and put like middle of the job. Like we come in, they're like, it finally stopped.
This is why physical security is better than all other security.
I overhear this. It finally stopped. Now we can put paper back in it. So they put it in there, and like the machine starts its normal little warm up, and they go to walk off, and you hear fing, fing, and they start going up. What happened? And I'm trying so hard not to laugh because it's like you just gave the gun more ammo. It's gonna shoot exit signs for as long as you continue to give it ammo. And then the bad part was like at the beginning of the week, pictures came out perfect and crisp and clear. And then by like Friday, you could only see like one line of the X and like at the top of the T. So it's like,
Yeah, see, I wasn't there for the entire week. I was just there for the start.
I'd get bored at lunch and go over there.
It was within walking distance.
Yeah, it's right around the corner.
For years, I was a little further away. And I was 10. They won't let me leave the building.
Oh, good fun.
Yeah, that's. You like? God, I wish my office was entertaining enough where I could do this now.
Yeah.
No one
If anything
cares.
crazy like that happens, I'm the fucking asshole that gets called. So that's not any fun anymore.
You got to fix it.
I know. I'm like, hey, I know this isn't important, but can you make it important and send someone here right now?
Oh, if I got called for that, I was like, I don't know. Sometimes you got to exit, man. I don't,
See, I don't know. I want to
call Justin. He's safety. I don't know.
I want to know which
Contact your
class.
safety team.
Yeah.
I want to know which class had the test face down on the desk, and it said exit, and they flipped it over. And each page.
You know, I bet they would have
'Cause
started using that paper every time.
I'm betting like they ran out at some point. Like they're like, that was our last one.
Oh man.
And then so the teacher's like, screw it. You know, he's like, you should have turned it off and on again. It would have stopped. And he flips it over, puts it back in, and there's my.
It was always great when they left paper, like special paper in there. Like they printed out like Valentine's Day like signs, so there was like that pink in there, that like card stock. Oh, it's so much like you feel so much better when there's a pink like exit card stock coming out because you're like, that's not just 3 cents.
That costs money.
That right there, that's a coda.
I definitely last week before I left the rig this last time.
Yeah.
I get called over next door and he's like, hey man, this printer is fucked up. It's in the ET shop. And I'm like, what the fuck are you talking about? What did you do? Is somebody messing with you? That's my default. It's like somebody's fucking fooling with you. And he shows me he's got this drawing printed out on fucking A3, right? And it's got a fucking spreadsheet printed across the top. Like eight lines worth of a spreadsheet. So it's like electrical drawing, spreadsheet. And I'm like, how the fuck would somebody even do that? I was like, you have one of those prefix pages on there or something? I'm looking at the computer because he's a fucking ET.
Yeah.
I'm like, somebody's fucking with you. I'm looking at the driver. I'm looking through all of settings because I've done this to people before. Actually, there's this great story where the medic on board, he was kind of a shithead for a while. We've taught him his lesson since then. But my predecessor had this great idea. He found out we have those fancy fucking HP 575s and 750s. They're like $5,000 printers. Yeah. And so he had this great idea to do it's essentially a fucking prefix or postfix page to everything you print.
Yeah.
And it's in the drivers. So he finds an ASCII art of goat sex.
Oh.
The medic has no idea what that even is. He just sees a man's butthole being spread on everything that he prints. He didn't have a sense of humor about that. He went straight to the captain, who thought it was fucking hilarious and made us take it off there. So I was like, well, you don't have a fucking sense of humor about anything because you went to him instead of us. So I proceeded to fuck with him. Like we have observation cards or safety cards you got to put in per day. And I heard that in Korea they had one size that the Koreans print for us on a pad, and they had the size that the Americas printed for us. And he's OCD, so it annoyed him when people would turn in the big size. So I was constantly turning in the big size. I said, as soon as he comes and complains to me about that, because I had just heard this through rumor, he's going to get his. So he finally comes in. There's about 10 people in my office. Like it's on cruise change day, and they're all just joking around, taking it easy on their last day. He's like, where the fuck's the pad? I'm like, what fucking pad? The big size obs cards. I want them right now. And I'm like, whoa. I'm like, are you discouraging me from participating in our safety program? And he's like, no. I'm like, that pad's gone, man. Don't worry about it. So he leaves the room. I immediately hand that pad to my mechanical counterpart, and I'm like, make sure that gets used. Then I proceed to copy front and back and print them out on A3.
Nice.
And then did about 20 of those, handed them out to people to fill out, so he gets a bunch of those folded up. And then after that, I did 30 on one page of A4 so that he got some micro ones. He has to transcribe these every day at the end of his shift, so he loved that. So anyways, I immediately think someone's fucking with my ET because of this backstory. And we sit there and gone to the point where I've uninstalled and reinstalled his printer driver. And I'm like, dude, you are fucking with me. What is the fuck is going on? I'm like, because we print a test page, fucking spreadsheet. I'm like, where is this fucking coming from? We're shutting the printer off. We're taking it off the network. I'm scanning shit A3. We try A4, shrinking it. It's not there on A4. I'm like, wait a minute. We had already opened the tray and looked at everything. I'm like, this is fucked up, dude. Something's fucked up. I'm like, it's stuck on the drum. I don't know what it is. Like, we're going to have to fucking change every cartridge in this motherfucker. We didn't pull the tray out far enough. Somebody was recycling paper. There's about fucking 50 pages of someone's spreadsheet where you couldn't see the 8 lines that were all the way back up in the tray. I'm like, you piece of shit, you just wasted an hour of my fucking time. I'm like, I'm going back to my office. Don't fucking call me again. I'm like, you're supposed to be an ET. What's wrong with you?
Oh, goodness.
Rage is beautiful.
See, I only go as far as like setting changes now. Like I'll do the background to where like they can see the window for their ticketing and they can see all their icons, but nothing works.
Oh yeah.
I'll do that one, and then
we do that to your dad all the time, actually.
the one I'm most proud of is the one that me and you had the idea for together, and then I ended up spending the entire night figuring out how to change it. I took an entire Clutch song and made it the startup.
Shiny Cadillac.
Made it the startup for Windows. So
for our friend who has like 6 Cadillacs.
Yeah. So he was my relief. He has nothing but Cadillacs. And so I turned the volume all the way up, and I log out of the computer, and I go away, and I'm chilling around. He's like, "You're not going to go home?" I was like, you should log in. Make sure you got the Passover. He logs in, like a 9-minute song plays, and he can't turn it off.
It's like 6 minutes and 30 seconds.
But he's like, I thought that had a time limit. I was like, you have to change a lot on the file itself.
So you're going to be a big fan of these two, Neil. I have had a few moments where I've decided to willfully play jokes on people.
Yeah.
They weren't really ready for him. So our first one.
Your mic has gone limp.
Yes, it is.
Our DirecTV is based out of the Louisiana market.
Yeah.
So we get a lot of weird commercials.
Yeah.
Let's say that maybe you wouldn't get elsewhere, and maybe you can play one of these so that Neil knows what I'm talking about, because I don't think I've ever seen it in the Houston market. But it's a dating website called FarmersOnly.com.
I have seen it.
Oh yeah.
So
That's brilliant.
Are you familiar with the jingle?
I am not familiar with the jingle anymore.
Jingles? You may need to play the jingle. So basically what I did was I YouTube downloaded it and then stripped the audio from it and then team viewered it to my work computer.
Oh, nice.
Then to which I put it on the ET's computer as the start and stop program sound in Windows.
Oh.
Which at the time I underestimated. Apparently it goes for processes too when you do a sound for that. So it's the DJ of FarmersOnly.com, and it proceeds to play the jingle so quickly that it doesn't finish.
It never stops.
Oh, it was fucking great. The
Jingle.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, that right there, bud. Yeah, we did that to the mechanic shop computer and the ET computer. It was fucking great.
Yeah, this commercial, this
That's
entire
a safety
series is
hazard.
legendary.
They fucking play it way too much too.
Yeah,
That is a
there's
safety hazard.
One of the latest ones is a city girl that's wanting to know, why can't she find a good man in
yeah.
the city? And then it cuts to the farmer, and he's like, why can't I find a good woman on the farm?
The voice of the animals talking about finding a date.
Yeah.
Why can't he find a good woman? It's like voices of cows and shit.
And then it's like something ridiculous, like she's driving out somewhere, and then all of a sudden her car breaks down, and she's walking, and as soon as she like exits city limits, her entire like clothing changes to like a Dixie gal kind of outfit.
Was she like Once Upon a Time?
It's
ridiculous, dude.
It's
I know they've made millions off this already, which is really sad. But they just keep going.
First time I heard about it, I thought it was a joke, and
No,
then I found out it wasn't.
It's campy as fuck too. All of them. The other one was I was one of the only people that could administer our phone system.
Oh yeah.
So I proceeded to make people's no answer rollover from like really busily called numbers go to the person that I was attacking. and it's great because oil rigs don't understand that like phone systems are variable like that.
Yeah.
So like you get these great conversations. I always do it when I was sitting nearby, and then you get these great conversations where someone answers the phone. It's like, hey, this is John. What's up? Oh, well, is Cowboy there? Well, no, this is fucking John. Why are you calling me? Well, I was calling What do you mean? What I called? I swear I called this number, and then their response to that
we
is
lost
like
video.
Oh, we did.
Yeah.
We're done.
Yeah.
Their response to that is, of course, to try again. Like,
Oh,
you
yeah.
know, because that's the solution.
And they're going to talk about
And they-
why it didn't work the second time.
Yep.
Because, if it doesn't work the first time.
And so
You got to turn it off and on 3 times.
when I go to
thrice.
bed for the evening, I would forget to leave things like that turned off. And I come in the next day and like they work off shift 6 hours from me, so that he'd come in at lunch and be like, "You fucking remove that forward right now." I'm fucking tired of hearing it.
Yeah. Like there's a limit on the Avaya box. Like you can only have a certain length wave file.
Yeah.
For any music or whatever that's outgoing. But it has a 3.5 millimeter jack.
Yeah.
Where you can plug in an iPod and play whatever you want.
Yeah, we had a CD player that played on repeat.
Yeah.
Actually, they had that on there. Like you just saw a cable coming out of the system, and there was also a computer in there that ran the ACD system.
These are very rudimentary.
Yeah,
PBX
so I'm
systems,
like,
by the way. I don't have any of those luxuries.
I was like, why don't I just run Winamp on the computer?
Yeah, at the last company I worked at, they budgeted for a computer just to play music.
One 30-second thing, like
Yeah.
Oh dear God.
Yeah, that's how.
And all it was like, thank you for calling. Like we couldn't compress it down to the length, like the actual recording length they wanted.
Well, there were a number of
fit
times
in
where
the
like the
system.
CD started skipping, and if you skip a CD in the wrong phrase at a family planning clinic,
Wow.
that could be very very bad for customers.
Wow.
So yeah, the computer was put into place very very quickly. Yeah, it happened.
I can only
You
imagine
broke
the amount
Chad.
of fun you had there without
broke
me,
Chad.
Neil. I'm kind of
Yeah,
jealous.
it was a lot of fun.
Story?
Oh no,
No
story.
Too soon?
It's such a hard decision. Someone's calling in and they hear the Planned Parenthood remix.
Oh wow.
If you're ready to come in and drop that bass.
Yeah, too bad dubstep didn't exist back then. Maybe you invented it, Neil. Maybe
I'll
you
take the money from it.
inadvertently invented dubstep.
It could have happened.
You never know.
Holy, oh my God. That that idea just got me. It's so good. It's horrible,
Yeah,
but it's great.
it is. Yeah. Well, I think now's a good time
I
to
think
wrap
it's a
it
good
up.
time. I
Yeah,
don't know when we
think-
lost video. We lost video some time ago, but
Not very long ago, about 6 to 10 minutes, maybe.
Like 3.
So you noticed when the
So
red
is
light
that
went
a-
off.
That's a recording limitation.
yeah, there was
on
silence, and we
the-
all go,
Battery
"Aw."
life.
Battery life. Yeah,
Really?
I mean that's the battery in that thing goes quick. It's an old
Can it stay
battery.
plugged up the whole time?
It can't. So
I-
the limitation with GoPros is you have that USB port,
Yeah.
which is the only way you can get an audio
Yeah,
feed
that's
into it.
The charger for it also.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
why.
So you can't power it and get audio into it at the same time.
I'm thinking you guys need to fall back on the webcams. Honestly,
We'll get it figured out.
Yeah. I mean it
you're not doing super high fidelity. They're like $80 each,
Yeah.
and you can do multiple feeds on whatever you wanted.
yeah. I mean
Yeah.
that was always
Yeah.
my intention, but time and this is
No,
this-
no, it's available.
It's
I'm with
available
This is easier
until it
right
loses
now.
power.
It's easier. Plus, if it goes off, we know we've hit past a point.
Yeah, and the kind of folks that are in the audience that are watching this on YouTube, Garcia, that noticed this. If you're still listening,
Garcia
I have
and
made since it's gone black. I've made many gestures to the camera, and it has not recorded a single one of them.
Hey, Garcia, how many fingers am I holding up?
You're holding up more fingers than his computer is able to. correct?
Yeah, he's a bit of a legend, and someday he will be on the show. We don't know when.
I really feel for your PC today, Garcia. I'm sorry. I've been reading about it for the last 3 days.
At least his turns on.
Oh, that's right. You're having computer problems too.
I lay awake at night thinking about how I could fix your PC. I'm sorry.
I'll let you take a look at one that I can't figure out.
All right. Well, I think we should be hearing some dubstep at this point.
Yeah. Facebook, Twitter's, YouTube's, Libsyn's. If you listen to this, you know where you got it. Tell other people.
Yep.
Until another time, that's not now.
Bye-bye.